Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Yggdrasil Roadshow with me, Alexander Lapiniemi. Today we have a panel. We're going to talk about the March releases, and we're going to have a quick look about the upcoming network promotions. There is one in April and the one in May. First of all, just a quick look at the roadmap overview here for March, April, and May. As you can see, it's quite packed. Lots of games coming up from partner studios as well as Yggdrasil Core Studio. Make note that Giganimals is released in April. It has been moved, so very, very important to make note of that. Let's have a look at the network promotions. So the one coming up in April for the Easter season is Easter Ygg. It's a 50k price drop. Now, price drop is very easy to work with, as you in reality you only need one of the games live on your sites to be able to fully utilize the promo. So make sure to give the games in question a push. Some real estate for the promo, and you will have a free promotions for your players to enjoy. Automatic payouts, and if you have any questions, as usual, go to your account manager and check it out. No problems there. For the May network promotions, it's going to be around fishing. It's going to be very cool. We also have a Yggdrasil core fishing game released close to this one, so that's really cool. It's a nice catch. So of course that is also in the promotion towards the end of May. It's going to be super cool. So make sure you're opted in for that one as well as the Easter Ygg one. Cool stuff. So the panel of today, we have three speakers. We're going to start up with Sebastian Belton, followed up by Henry McLean from For the Player, and last but not least, we have Yann Bautista from Peter and Sons. So that's all for the introduction, and let's get into the content. All right, first out in the panel of the day, our very own Sebastian Belton.
Hey Alex, how's it doing? How you doing?
All good, man. All good. Can't be bad on a day like this. And now I'm about to see a
Excellent.
truly fantastic game, quite original in many ways, and hitting the spot with seasonality as well as really cool interest of my own, action heroes. Right? It looks really good, man.
Yeah, the E-Force, we're going to get into it in just a sec, but yeah, it is an original idea here from Yggdrasil, and there's nothing quite like it on the market. So let's jump straight into it, Alex, and
Yep.
we got. All right, everyone, welcome to E-Force, the latest addition to our slots portfolio here at Yggdrasil. As you can see, it's a very unique looking slot. It has, as you can see, rabbits as the predominant character in this game. But as you also notice, that they are dressed up as a variety of different classic action heroes, which is the overriding theme in the game. We've got a variety of different ones. You can see Rambo there. You've got Kill Bill. That's, I believe, John Matrix from the 1980s classic Commando, as well as Robocop and a variety of others as well inside there. So we've tried to take the really unique aspect of that sort of classic action heroes and combined it with the Easter theme. We think, I'm almost 100% certain that there's nothing else like that out on the market right now. It's also, it's got a great long-term potential as well with the game as it's standalone as the action hero side outside of just the Easter period. As you can see at the game, it's a 5x3 reeler. It's a very simple process here. You need to get 3 of these icons. You can see we're going to hit the feature now. 3 free spins or wilds. They both count the same. The wilds also count as a free spin icon. You need a minimum of 3 that will give you 3 free spins. You can see we got 7, so we get 7 free spins. We also start with the multiplier at the same level. So we start 7 times multiplier with 7 free spins. And that's really the simplicity of the game. We get applied the multiplier. Every time we get a wild or a free spins icon, we are given an additional free spin and the multiplier is increased by 1. This happens after the payment is made for the actual win. You can see there we get the win applied, the multiplier applied, and then the wild is then added at the end of the win. So we're now moving up to 9. You can see we're getting those multipliers added, and this is really the premise of the feature. What you're hoping to do really ultimately is to gather as many wild or free spin icons as possible during the free spins module, and get that multiplier really, really high to guarantee you not only a much larger win potential, but also to maintain the free spins. You can see every time we're getting those icons, we're keeping the free spins topped up as well as pushing the multiplier higher. And this is what makes I think it's a really sticky engagement mechanic in this game, and that mixed with the excellent artistry of the style and originality of the slot makes for an excellent Easter themed slot. So you'd be amiss to not include this in your lineup. We're now reaching obviously a higher amount of multipliers here at 13. These numbers can get really quite high. You'd be surprised how quickly these add up into much larger amounts. And certainly if the higher that you get at the beginning, the more free spins / wilds you get entering into the feature, the higher your chance. I will add that the maximum cap is at 10, I believe, in the base game. The only way that you can get more than that is getting 15 with the buy bonus, which you can buy outright. That brings it to the end of the feature, and you can see there the win value, and that's everything we've got to show in the video. So thank you for watching that.
All right, thank you, Seb, for an excellent presentation. E-Force, action heroes, Easter eggs, Easter bunnies, it's all coming together quite nicely here. And also, as you said, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. You're in it to win it, and whilst doing it, a fair bit of entertainment as well. But okay, so I want to talk a little bit about how the game came to be. Now, obviously, the theme is quite strong, but also the mechanics. So, like, what came first? Can you walk us through really like the development of this game?
Well, Alex, is very interesting. As I mentioned, I am sitting on the game council, so I saw this game in its early, its early inception, and the team really wanted to make something that was wholly original and separate from anything else that's out there in the market. And 80s, well, classic action heroes in general, are something that everyone enjoys. We all enjoy action flicks, and there's a lot of memorable characters. As you can see in my picture, I have 2 of them there in my background, but
and one in the middle.
Yes, and me as well. Yeah. Classic action hero. I wish. But yeah, they're something that everyone associates with at some point. That people are going to play the game and they're going to go, oh, that's they're going to know at least one of them. Maybe most people will know a handful of them, and that's that sort of familiarity is a really great way to introduce someone to a slot game. And then the mechanics will hopefully do the rest. And we feel that the mechanics are very simple and accessible. Along with the humor aspect of the slot, we've tried to be a bit fun. Here at Yggdrasil, we do a very wide variety of slots, from more serious kind of games to things that are a bit more fun. And we feel like this one's a really step out of our traditional comfort zone. We've gone for something with a bit of humor. There's some fun in it. And we've tried to, incorporate that sort of Easter feeling into it to make it a really fun experience for our customers.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But like initially, was this always to be an Easter game, or was that something that kind of came in the process?
Well, we, as you are probably aware, we plan to make event games here at Yggdrasil, and I think the idea really was that we were thinking of ideas for Christmas. There was a whole different plethora of ideas that were coming through, and this one was generally considered the more favourable one to build off the back of. So it was really just sort of like action heroes and Easter. How do we put them together? And we added the sort of animal rabbit factor, which is obviously a major part of Easter, and dressed them up like action heroes, and it's quite fun to see it in its finality.
Yeah, definitely. But it's coming out in Easter, so obviously we're gonna call it an Easter game. But looking at the theme and the guy, like the mechanics and everything, like this for sure has high value outside of Easter, and I don't think like, yeah, I could see that in the future you won't consider it an Easter game. But what do you think about that? Does it have relevance outside of the Easter season?
100%, Alex. I think the game's been, designed in the way for it to have a long-term prospect outside of just the Easter period. Obviously, it's been made for Easter, because the event is obviously themed at Easter. But however, the game doesn't necessarily have to be associated with Easter. You could be playing it in another part of the year. And obviously, the main overriding theme is the classic action heroes aspect and
Mhm.
the sense of humor. So I think that will carry it beyond the Easter period and well into the rest of the year, and hopefully will become a long-term sticky prospect with customers in the long haul.
Yeah. Into Easter and beyond. Good stuff. Let's talk.
Absolutely.
Let's iterate some of the math in the game. Like you have mentioned, like it's a relatively volatile game, but let's talk about the player journey in terms of potential, starting in the base game and moving into the bonus round here. Like what is the feel kind of the game and the winnings and the potential?
Well, it's interesting you should ask that question. I think the game's main premise is to get the customers into the free spins round as soon as possible. We've made a scaling free spins round. In other words, you could get 3 icons to get into the feature, but it would be 3 free spins at a multiplier at 3x. So if you were to get that, it could be a reasonable return, but it's kind of like the same feeling as if you were to get a big return on a spin. The reason we've done this is to make the free spins more accessible. You can get in there, as I said, in a basic of just 3 icons, but you can also get in 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up to 10.
Oh
So
yeah,
it
okay.
gives the customer a much better access ramp to the free spins. We don't want them sitting in the base game for long periods of time. Therefore, we've been able to reduce the amount of spins required to hit the feature.
Nice. I like that. Making features and experience and enjoyment more accessible to the player. That is really cool. So I mean, so essentially what you're saying is, even if you're one of those players that have a bit shorter session time, you're not playing thousands of spins, you still will have quite easy access to the bonus round. And personally, I really do like that. But speaking about bonus round, there's a buy bonus in this game.
There is.
Could you go through the different ways of betting and buying bonus?
Certainly, there's 2 options for the buy bonus. There's the base X section buy bonus, which obviously is the entry level buy bonus, and that will be the predominantly probably what most people will choose. They'll give you between 3 and 9 free spins, and that's sort of like the bog standard process. But there is a special buy bonus which will grant you 15 free spins, which is the absolute maximum. Now, you can only get this through the buy bonus feature. You cannot get this in the base game. That would basically entail getting every single wild and free spin icon appearing on the reel. But obviously, it starts you off at 15x with 15 free spins, which is an exciting experience. Obviously, it's going to cost you that much more to get into that, but it's also the prospect of a very potential big payback on it.
Awesome
So,
stuff.
definitely for the buy bonus enthusiasts out there, this one definitely delivers on that front.
Excellent stuff. And on that note, as you mentioned, bonus buyers, they will have a good time. But the million-dollar question here, aside from bonus buyers, who is this game for? Who will play eForce? Who will love it? Who will like it?
So it's a good question. I think eForce is obviously in its own bracket. There is nothing else like it. So it is an unknown factor. But what I would say is, having played it in abundance and spoken to people that have looked it and played with it and seen it, and feedback from people, is that it's a really fun game. Predominantly, that's been the most feedback, that it's enjoyable, it's fun, It's a bit wacky, but the mechanics are there, and the style is there, and the overall feel of the game is one that's a very enjoyable experience. And the takeaway from that is hopefully the customers will come in and feel the exact same thing when they get on and play it during the Easter period. And I'm confident that they will perform very well for the company, and obviously more importantly for our clients.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Seb. I'll let that be the closing words of the of this one. So
Before we end, though, Alex,
oh.
one more thing I will say for all those fans of voice acting. We don't normally have voice acting in this game. What I have actually from my own voice acting skills in the game, if you'd noticed during the bonus round, that is actually me doing the my best Arnold Schwarzenegger impression to add a bit of fun and amusement to the game. So I threw that in there for a bit of fun.
Awesome stuff. An Easter egg.
An Easter egg indeed, yes.
Yeah, an Easter egg in the Easter game about eggs with Easter eggs. It's a lot of play on words to be made there. But anyways, thank you so much, Seb. And surely I'll see you soon.
Take care, Alex. Bye-bye.
All right, welcome to the Roadshow. Making his premiere today, Henry McLean himself from For the Player. Warm welcome, my friend.
Thanks, Alex. It's great to be on the Roadshow.
Awesome stuff. It looks like you are in a wonderful place. Rainbows, sun is out, and very, very green. I can't wait to see what kind of game you have for us. I think we have a pretty good hunch of what's coming up here, looking at your background. So let's get into the game.
Yep, so today I'm showcasing 3 Lucky Leprechauns, the latest and greatest game by For the Player. This game's coming on the 7th of March. So with this game, we decided to jump down the wishing well and enter the land of the leprechauns. And with each of our games, we do try and create a game with a purpose. So always think, why are we creating this game? So with this game, we wanted to respond to the players that find large max wins unobtainable and a bit of a turn off. So we wanted to do an achievable max win, which is 5,000x on the ladder. And we also wanted to make sure that casinos could allow players to play and not have a big liability on their balance sheets. Because a lot of casinos are now saying the fact that these really max wins cause them issues. So it's best from the casino point of view and the player point of view. We also wanted to create a game that's very frequent and very active for the player. Again, there's lots of talk on players at the moment that to get on the bonus round, it's 1 in 400, 1 in 500 spins. And in the UK, especially where you can't bonus buy, in other markets you can't bonus buy, that's just not a very fun experience. So we wanted to fix that in this game, and 3 Lucky Leprechauns was born. Anyway, let's click start and into the game. So when you enter the game, you can see straight away you're in that kind of magical leprechaun world that I'm also in. And you can click on the leprechaun and actually choose your leprechaun. You've got 3 to choose from, including a female leprechaun, which is actually quite rare in leprechaun games. It doesn't actually do anything else apart from kind of change that lucky leprechaun, but it's a fun interactive feature for the player. Oh, so straight away we're getting scatters. That's a really good thing to do. Obviously you want to get 3 scatters and then you get on the trail on the left. Like I said, it's a very active game. So quite often you'll get that tease, and quite often you will actually get on the trail itself. If you get the 3 scatters, which we're just about to do, I believe, and they're going to land any minute now. Brilliant. So now the 3 scatters, the trail appears on the right, enlarges, and you start climbing your way up. Now, this will happen nice and quickly to the player, but they can double click and go straight to where they do in their bonus. When they get their bonus, they can actually choose to take the bonus or get a cash prize instead. We do make it quite clear to the player the potential of the bonus round or the cash prize. So look, we've got 5 free spins. You're now told you want the £50 or 5 win spins with a 5 times multiplier and a minimum win as well. So it's quite enticing for the player. Do they want the cash or do they want the bonus? So now the win spins play out. As you probably guessed, they're win spins. Every spin is a win. That's what it says on the tin. Each win spin is also times 5 just to make it a bit more enticing for the player. Okay, so we're doing quite well already. We're already on the kind of 10x, 20x now. Okay, hopefully this last spin will kind of take us to a nice bigger win. Okay, 37.50. not bad, not bad. This time, I should have taken the cash prize, but that's always part of the fun, isn't it? The player keeps thinking, next time I get the bonus, I'll take the cash, or I'll do this. Constantly leaves them longing for more. So if you get more than 3 scatters on the trail, you actually start further up the trail. Because obviously the further you start up the trail, the more chance you've got of winning that 5000x, which sits at the top. So if you get 4 scatters, like we're just about to now magically, here we go, our 4th scatter. We're now going to start halfway up with a greater chance of obviously getting that 5000x. So here we go, we're now going to be presented with, do you want the 50? Because last time, I'm going to take 50 this time. So there we go, 50 cash straight away, back into the game again. It's a really fun way for the players to play the game as well. Maybe they're in a hurry and they don't want to play out the bonus, they can instantly take the cash and instantly be rewarded. So now, if you get even more scatters, so now we're going to get the 5th scatter. You do start right at the top of the trail and you've got the highest chance of winning that mighty 5000x. So when you get the higher up, you get the pick bonus. So you actually get a number of picks on the treasure chest bonus. So here we go, the treasure chests, they're full of gold obviously, and you work your way around choosing which chest you want. Okay, so let's see, 250. Okay, that's not too bad, we could have done better, could have done worse. Again, it's the anticipation of the player seeing, oh, if I just clicked there, I could have got the 500, I could have got that. And then you go back into the game. Very fun, very active game. Like I said, 1 in 75 you get that feature. So you've got a very good chance of actually getting onto the bonus very early on, unlike a lot of games. So now let's just quickly show you what the max win is on the trail. So like I said, you can get that on any number of scatters. So we've got 3. And now we're going to start firing up this trail. Okay, where's it going to stop? This is really fun for the player because they're constantly thinking, okay, where's that arrow going to stop? Is it going to stop and they're going to go up? Are they going to go right? So we keep going up. Hopefully we're going to get this 5000x win. So now we're getting very close. You can see the chance of getting it is quite high. Okay, two more layers to go. And there's the 5000x. That's what all the players are really wanting to see. And like I said, the way we balance this game is this can actually happen and does happen regularly compared to a lot of other games. It's not like a max win. It's designed to kind of sit there and kind of gather dust. It's one that's quite active, quite obtainable. It should be very attractive to the players. And there you go. In a really quick overview, that's 3 Lucky Leprechauns by For the Player.
Nice. Thank you so much for that presentation, Henry. What a really cool game. Straightforward, lovely. It's just the atmosphere. Like I just love this kind of, scene, the scenery. Everything just feels really, really good. In the game. And I really like, the red thread here, the common denominator, that you are condensing the experience for essentially what is today's reality, where we have a shorter session time per player. People are popping on for for maybe 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes, a few spins to see how it goes. I think it's very well matched with the reality we have today. I want to talk a little bit firstly here about the theme and the mechanic. Now, I can assume that there is an idea here with the theme and the timing, the specific kind of celebration coming up. Am I right about this, or like how come you have gone with the Leprechaun theme on this one?
Well, there's 2 reasons. Leprechauns is a classic theme. We thought we'd go something classic, but kind of put a twist on it, doing female leprechaun. But also, as you did say, St. Patrick's Day is coming up. It's on the 17th of March. So this game is perfect for your St. Patrick's Day promotions.
Yeah, excellent stuff. So regarding the mechanics, so like, or is this something that you came up with specifically for the game? Is this tied together in some way with the theme, or how did the game come to be as it is today?
So the first thing we started with is the mechanic. We wanted a very active game, a very frequent game. And the kind of concept we had internally was like, let's create something really active and very frequent. And that's where the trail came from. And then with trails, you think, okay, what's the kind of classic theme that fits well with trails, leprechauns, and it all kind of merged together really nicely.
Nice. All bundled in together in a nice packet of joy and entertainment. That is awesome. I want to touch down a little bit on something you mentioned in your presentation, which was the feature hit frequency. So when talking about the player journey and the feel of the game, we can expect a lot of players to see the feature, and I would also assume a lot of players walking away with at least one or two having seen some interesting wins. Could you iterate a bit on the on those parts?
Yeah, sure. So like I said, we talk a lot to the players when we create games and listen to feedback. And the big frustration at the moment is feature frequency, especially in the UK and markets where you can't buy that bonus, because
Yeah.
that's a lot of spins, especially if you can't autoplay in the UK. You're spinning and spinning and trying to get that feature. So we really wanted to listen to that and make a feature frequency that's much lower, which
Yeah.
is 1 in 75, which is, you could say, 4 times less than a lot of slots that are released at the moment. So a lot of players will get on that feature, and will get something fun and entertaining for their money.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is a main selling point of the game, and like just everybody take note of that. I think this is super cool. It's a good direction to go in. I think we're all seeing this trend here in the in the engagement KPIs of the players, where the session time is actually shorter, and I think it's time we get more games like this out there that actually cater to these players rather than the heavy bonus farming kind of, or bonus buy specific kind of games. It's really good to have this kind of game as well, especially in the regulated markets such as UK, for example, many others as well. But just to kind of tie up the sack here a little bit, so let's talk about who this player is for. Who will love this game?
We think it's got quite a wide appeal, especially in the UK, the Nordics, and believe it or not, Italy seems to really like Leprechaun games, so we think it'll do well there. But it goes back to what we said earlier about players that are looking for entertainment, looking for fun, looking for the obtainable max wins, players that aren't expecting to grind the game forever to try and get a bonus round or a win. One other point that's probably worth saying is that just over 1 in 3 is the hit frequency of any win. So it's a very active game in terms of the wins it does throw you. So it's not just about getting on that, like getting on the trail as well. There are lots of nice wins along the way in the base game as well.
Exactly. Super, super nice. I'll let that be the closing word. So thank you so much for coming on the roadshow today, Henry. It was a lovely presentation. Always nice talking to you. And I'll be seeing you shortly, I hope. Have a good
Brilliant.
one.
Brilliant. Take care. Cheers.
All right. Last but definitely not least, welcome back to the roadshow, Yann Bautista from Peter and Sons.
Thanks, Alexander.
It's really good to have you here once again. And today, as we can tell from the background, it's all about the books, huh?
Yes, this is this is our latest release. It's coming out 16th of March. It's the ultimate book of books.
Yes.
It's gonna be the ultimate, but well, you gotta take this with a little bit of humor. It's a parody, of course. The game is inspired in the Monty Python movie, The Holy Grail.
Nice, and that is a good one. That is a good one. So I am really looking forward to what you've got to show us today, man. So let's get into the gameplay, shall we?
Okay, so as I said, I mean, this is the book of books. It's a book game. Is of course the mechanic is based in these book games where you have these expanding symbols, but we have some very interesting features in this game. So let's go into it. So the game is played. The base game is played on a 5x3 panel. You have 5 high symbols, 5 low symbols. Then you have the scatter, and then you have the wilds as well. The wild pace as the highest as an H1 symbol, and what the game is about, the whole game is about collecting power-ups during the base game to trigger a really good free spins experience. So what you have during the base game, you can see you have 3 types of collectors. So on the top left, you have a free spins collector. On the right, you have a multiplier collector, and in the base game, you have this symbols collector. So what you do is that when you get 2 scatters, you either collect 1 free spin or 2 free spins, you collect a multiplier, or you collect a symbol. So during the base game is you have around 50 something, then we can go into the numbers RTP, so you get like more wins all the time. And the idea here is, of course, the scatter is the book with the Holy Grail. That's the main symbol. And the thing is that if you land 3 or more scatters, you trigger free spins, right? So you can see that you are collecting here these power-ups, and then when free spins triggers, you get by default 7 free spins, plus all the power-ups that you already collected during the base game. So the free spins experience can be very different from time to time. And another very interesting feature here is that depending on the amount of scatters you collect, you are gonna play on a different grid size. So the grid is dynamic. So free spins can be played on a 5x3 grid, a 5x4 or 5x5, depending on if you collect 3 scatters, 4 or 5 scatters. Of course, the number of pay lines are gonna be depending on the grid size from 10, 20 or 40 pay lines. Then during the free spins game, because the whole game is about the free spins experience, right? That's when all these symbols starts expanding. So how does it work? Well, like in other book games, you need to have at least 2 high symbols or 3 low symbols in the panel, in the grid, on different reels to trigger the expansion of the symbols. So you have in the basement, the collector, these symbols that if, for example, during the base game, you collected 4 of them, they are gonna be moving randomly and triggering the expansion of the symbols. Additionally, during the free spins game, you have retriggering. So let's say that, for example, if you collect during free spins 3 scatters, you get an extra 3 extra free spins plus a random power up. And also, let's say if you play free spins on a 5x3 panel, if you collect 4 scatters or 5 scatters, that's gonna affect also the grid size. So all of a sudden, the panel is gonna expand as well. Plus, you are gonna collect 5 free spins or 7 free spins, and you get also power-ups there. So this is what the game is about. And of course, additionally, we have the golden bet option where you play 1.5 extra per spin to improve the chances of landing in free spins. And you have also the buy bonus option with 3 different buy options for free spins, which is very interesting for the hardcore players because the whole game is about the free spins experience, right? So you can either buy on a 5-3 panel, on a 5-4 panel, or on a 5-5 panel. So this is basically what the game is about. And we can go a little bit into the numbers of the game. So as usual, well, the game is going to be launched the 16th of March. We have 4 different RTPs as usual, the 96.15, which is the main one, then 94, 91, and 86. The RTP of the game in the base game of the 96 version is 54.81, and during the bonus game, 41.34. So we have quite a lot of RTP there, as you can see. The hit frequency is 33.27, and then the hit frequency into the free spins game is 1 every 249 spins, more or less in average. And the max win potential, 10,000x. So pretty nice win potential in the game. And that's basically it.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Thank you for that presentation. As usual, very good stuff. And yeah, lots of entertainment, lots of really, really high wins, and you know, the high volatility that comes with that. As usual, I want to talk a little bit about how the game sort of came to be here. So you're working with a very strong theme. So you have, you know, it's inspired by, you know, the somewhat common theme. It's all about the books. It's the ultimate book this time, Holy Grail. A bit of Monty Python. So can you kind of walk us through just how, you know, how the game came to be, basically?
Well, we wanted to do like a different variation of some of the games that we released previously that were pretty successful, like Jonan, for example, which was also a book game, and then Robin, the first Robin game we launched was also a very nice game that did really well. So we said, okay, let's make something different based on those games. And we came up with this idea. So initially we started with a mechanic. We wanted to add this kind of collection mechanism in the base game because we have seen that that was pretty nice. And also because we wanted to have like this free spins experience that is always different somehow. So from there, well, that's how we started. And then when it came up to decide the theme, of course, in this case, you can see that the style is very much Peter and Sons, made by our art director, Kenny Wittman, which has a very unique style. He has done other games like Wild One, like Ship Alba. I mean, so you can really recognize the style. And of course, I mean, and this guy, he loves Rick and Morty, he loves Monty Python. So when we presented
Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed?
So when we saw the concept, we said, "Oh God, this is just a parody. I mean, this is the ultimate book of books."
Yeah, it's really good. And was it at that moment the kind of the name came up when you had that aha moment?
Exactly. Because initially
Nice.
we were gonna name it the Holy Grail because of the movie, but then
Yeah.
when we saw this, he said, "My God, but this is just a comedy by itself. So let's put an ending to the book games. This is the ultimate book of books." Of course, it's not gonna be. There are gonna be books of books of books of books all the time, but well, you gotta take this with humor, right? This
Yeah,
is
exactly. And I think that's really cool. And I think that's, one of your characteristics as well with your unique art style. I mean, also heavily inspired by, such as Rick and Morty. I mean, looking at that series a lot, I mean, I can definitely, see that in your games. And it's just, it adds this kind of right straight off the bat, like you're in this mood, right? It's definitely more about the humor when
yeah.
you're coming into this, and I think that adds a lot to the entertainment value of the game. So that's super good. Um, let's talk a little bit about math. I mean, obviously, we mentioned it's a very volatile game, and in terms of the player journey in the game, obviously you're starting in the base game, right?
Yeah.
And you're looking for power ups and you're looking for books. But can you like just iterate a bit on the player journey in terms of potential and winnings in the game?
Yeah, I mean, the whole game is about, as you said, it's a very highly volatile game. The volatility of the game is around 13.16. In the Yggdrasil scale, it would be 131. So all the game is about the free space experience, right? I think this is going to be very appealing to hardcore players that want to go straight to the free spins. And of course, you can do that to the buy bonus. But well, during the base game, the idea was a little bit the base game is it happens stuff there as well because you have these collections, and sometimes, I mean, for normal players, I mean, the whole idea here is that you don't want to enter into free spins too early because you wanna be collecting during the free spin during the base game, right?
Yep.
So you can really get a huge potential during the free spins game. But during the base game, I mean, it's pretty nicely balanced. You can see that you still get wins all the time. Things are happening, you are collecting, you get a lot of wilds and you get small wins during the base game. But of course, as said, I mean, the entire game is based on the free spins experience.
Yeah.
So it's a
Awesome
fantastic
stuff.
game. I mean, for those that wants to get like the big wins, right?
Exactly. So the idea of this game is to get in there and start spinning. The more you play, the more you can possibly be rewarded. And I really like that kind of style. So when we talk about player demographic, of course, this is what we've sort of been talking about all the time. Like the players that like this game are the players that like the high volatile play style, where you're farming for a specific combination of power ups. You need the scatters, and you want to go enter the bonus round just like so. Or for a player like this that has a shorter kind of time with the game, maybe go a bonus buy, do a bonus buy. There's 3 different levels there, as you mentioned. You buy on the 3 scatters, the 4 scatters, or the 5 scatters level to get more pay lines, right? So I think you know, it caters to all kinds of players within the kind of high volatile feel, which is really really cool.
Mhm.
And aside from the bonus buy, there's also the golden bet, as you mentioned.
Yes. You have the golden bet option as well. You pay, I think it was, let me check.
50%.
Yes, 1.5 extra, 1.5 extra per spin to increase your chance of landing into free spins, right?
Exactly. So that's a good kind of middle ground in between buying the bonus and the farming the sort of the OG style of the normal way. So
Exactly.
so that's very very good. And I think this is how people should, you know, players should, you know, think about the golden bet, right? Because you're essentially what you're doing is that you're doing a middle thing between the bonus buy and the normal spin. So if you feel like I do like the normal, I want to hit it naturally, so to say. And it takes away a bit from the excitement just buying the bonus. I think the golden bet is the way to bet for you. So if you haven't already tried it out, you definitely should. This is something that I use a lot because I'm like in the middle here. Like, yes, I like to hit the bonus. I want to see it relatively soon, but I also want to hit it randomly or, you know, naturally. Because for me, if I just buy the bonus, it kind of takes away a little bit of the excitement of the game. And I do want to have this kind of grind. I want to feel that I get rewarded for the spins I'm putting into the game. So I don't want to cheat, you know. I'm not calling a bonus buy a cheat here, but it's just a bit how I feel about it as a player. So for me, this is a good option.
Yeah, in this case, I mean, there is a reward. I mean, if you hit the free spins game naturally, definitely, because you are going to play the free spin games with the power ups.
Exactly.
That's nothing you can do when you buy the bonus game. Of course,
Exactly.
you can choose the grid size, but you don't get extra free spins. You don't get multipliers because there is no limit in the multipliers you can get, right? So if you collect up to, let's say, 6x multipliers in the base game, imagine what kind of free spins game you're playing.
That's right. Gamblers, take note. Take note. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Jon. It's always a pleasure to have you on the Roadshow. And yeah, I hope to see you again soon, and I'm sure I will. So until then, have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.